In 3, 2, 1. And we welcome you into Believe Me right here on Stadium TV. My name is Cam Rogers, and listen, I've got no idea what I'm betting on this weekend, but I have two fine specimen right here on the show. Brandon Lang, BrandonLang.com, legendary handicapper with me alongside Clay Harbor, former NFL tight end, sports analyst. Gentlemen, we have Final Four, we have Masters, we have opening day. How we doing?
I'm doing great. In the history of BrandonLang.com, website came online right after the movie came out in 2005. I've only had 4 209 releases in college basketball. The last two were last year in the tournament with Kansas over Villanova and Villanova over Houston. And I came with my fifth ever in 17, 18 years, and it was UConn over Gonzaga. And just to watch Gonzaga win the way they did against UCLA, Julian Strawther hits the three to win it. The emotion, Vegas kids storm the court, boom, boom, boom. Reminded me of the Jalen Suggs half-court shot to beat UCLA in the semis, and then they go out against Baylor, and they got nothing left, and they get blown out by 20. Same exact situation. Line was UConn -3. I thought that was the steal of a lifetime. Bet your children's unborn children's children and their children's children on UConn. They blew them out by 28. So it was a good Elite Eight for me, and then came back with San Diego State on Sunday, getting it done over Creighton. I just felt like if you could hold Alabama to 3 at 27 from 3, you're going to do the same to Creighton. And they did, holding Creighton to 2 of 17 from 3, which was the difference in the ball game. So I think we're in for a great Final Four. If you would have told me Miami and Florida Atlantic were going to get here, I'd tell you you're crazy. San Diego State's not a surprise because of the defense they play, and UConn's playing better than anybody. So I think we're in for an exciting Final Four.
Clay, for the first time in March Madness history, no number 1 seeds in the Final Four. Your reaction to that?
It's crazy, but I like it. It shows there's a lot of parity in these conferences in college basketball. It shows that anybody can make it. And I'm a big guy that likes to pull for the underdog. I was a FCS player, Missouri Valley Conference kid. That's where I went to school. So I always love the smaller schools, and I think that's great. Florida Atlantic versus South San Diego State. To me, that's a great game. I love these under-the-radar guys. And then obviously, the bigger game is UConn Miami. I think that's going to be a great game too, B. Lang. I can't wait to get your take on that because, obviously UConn has been dominating teams, 28-point victory over Gonzaga. But Miami, that team can shoot, man. They got a backcourt that can play. They can shoot threes. They can do it all. And I don't know. I'm still, going back and forth. I want to see what B. Lang says about this, but I think we got 2 great games, and then who's going to win it all? I think we're going to have some interesting picks there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into it, gentlemen. And by the way, on the season, I'm 0-5. We all went 0-2 last week with our NBA picks, so I'm down 5 units. Help me out here. Let's get into it. We start with Brandon on this one. 6:09 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday night, very specific time. FAU and San Diego State, the Aztecs laying 2, the total set at 132. B. Lang, my friend, your go.
Well, I'll say it again. You look at San Diego State and you look at what they're doing. The number 1 overall seed, Alabama, put up 108 at home against LSU. Put up 104 at home against Vandy. Put up 106 at home to Georgia. Athletes and thoroughbreds all over the floor. San Diego State held them to 56 points, 3 of 27 for 3. Creighton, 2 of 17 from 3. Every team they've played in the 4 games of the tournament all have shot less than 30% from 3. One shot 36% from 3. So here's the question. Good run for Florida Atlantic. Nice win against Memphis. Maybe they shouldn't have won the Memphis game. Kendrick Davis, ball in his hand, senior guard for Memphis, up 1. 10 seconds on the clock, dribbling up the right side. Just stop and hold the ball. Get fouled, my son. Hit 2 free throws. You're going to the next round. Leaves his feet, turns it over. Atlantic wins at the buzzer. Then they caught a break with Fairleigh Dickinson. Then they caught a break with a Tennessee team that's been offensively challenged. The win against Texas, not Texas, but the winner in the next round.
Kansas State.
Yep, Kansas State overtime. Kansas State was basically a two-pony show led by Norvell. Novell, they got a nice win there. You're not going to beat Alabama and lose to Florida Atlantic. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. I will go to war big time with San Diego State.
All right, that's the logic there from Brandon. Clay, we go to you now. I mean, San Diego State from the beginning of March Madness was not getting a lot of positive vibes, shall we say, from Vegas or the public, and especially because of the Mountain West struggling in this tournament. But here they are, laying 2. What do you think, Clay?
So this is San Diego State -2. I am going to take Florida. I'm going to take FAU plus the 2 points. And here's why. This team, obviously, 35-3. This team has a great record. They've only lost 3 games all year. This team is top 20 in Ken Palm rankings. They're top 30 offense. They're top 30 defense. This is an all-around team. This team can shoot threes. This team is top 20 in the NCAA in 3-point percentage, almost 38% total, 54% from twos. This team is top 20 in rebounds. This team isn't a one-trick pony just because Fairleigh Dickinson. It wasn't their fault that's who they're playing. They're playing the teams in front of them, and they're beating the teams in front of them. I know SDSU, Creighton, SDSU, Alabama, the number 1 seed in the whole tournament. But with the 2 points, I am taking FAU to pull off the upset. But especially with the points, I'm taking FAU. This is where I get some points back on Brandon Lang. Here we go, baby. FAU.
Let me ask you a question. Ask you a question. My fair weather football friend. If FAU were playing Alabama, who'd you take in the game?
Alabama.
Okay. So if Alabama's got probably 3 guys who are going to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
If they went 3 of 27 for 3, would you say Alabama's a tremendous 3-point shooting team? Would you say Alabama's a 27 team?
I mean, typically, yeah.
They scored over 104 times this year.
Yeah,
so
typically.
My point to you is this. I wish you luck with that pick. I really do. But if you think the athletes of Conference USA are going to execute their offense against a San Diego State defense that shut down Alabama, arigato. Good
you
luck,
look
Mike.
at Conference USA. You look at I know we're talking NIT here, but you look at the NIT championship. You look at some of these other tournaments. The Conference USA, they've got some players. Unfortunately, all these teams are leaving Conference USA next year. That's another story. But Conference USA has some teams. They have some players. And I will sip on the small conference Kool-Aid all day, baby. That's where I went to school. I know these guys can play.
Okay, I think
doesn't get it, but I love him anyway.
Yeah, we love Clay. He's amazing, but I think he's picking with his heart here, coming from a smaller program, much like FAU, playing in the Final Four, but the Cinderella run ends here. I'm with Lang. Lay the 2, although, Lang, it does seem fishy that it's only 2. What do you think about that line?
Doesn't scare me at all. Okay. I thought it was fishy that they were only getting 2.5 from Creighton. Creighton's got the 7-footer inside. They got 3-point shooters all over the place. He's talking about Florida Atlantic having 3-point shooters. Every guy in Creighton's starting lineup, with the exception of the big man, can shoot threes. It's just different when you're a shooter and you got a guy in your jock. FAU is not going to get the open looks in the gym. Hey, brother, kick it to me. I got all day to spot up, baby. Hey, we together on this. We got all day. Every single guy for San Diego State. Let's also note that 7 of the top 9 players that are taking the floor for San Diego State are seniors. These aren't kids. These are men. They're 38 years old. They're 36 years old. They're 31-year-old. Some got 4 kids, 5 kids. They got a family to feed. These are men. This is men against boys. Cinderella. It ended at 12 o'clock midnight with no glass zipper. My Cinderella has thigh-high boots, but that's a whole different kink. We'll talk about it another time. Our boy's on the wrong side of the game. I wish him luck. Next.
The clock is striking midnight on that one. I'm with Lang -2, San Diego State. Quickly, let's pick the total here, 132. The under is 10-0 in the last 10 games for San Diego State. Brandon, over or under here?
Under. Remember, this is a Florida Atlantic team that scored 50 against North Texas. Oh, wait, hold on. Where are those three-point shooters? They scored 50-46 final against North Texas. Where's all those three-point shooters? Oh, my God. They scored 50. Oh, my God. Under.
Under it is. Clay?
I'm actually going with the under as well, but I'm still going with my team. FAU, Brandon's fired up. I love it. But hey, we're going to talk next week.
All right, let's get to the Canes of Miami taking on UConn. Guys, if you want to go off of the metrics with KenPom and all of the trends going into March Madness, UConn is the last remaining team that fit those trends, top 40 in adjusted offense, top 25 in adjusted defense. UConn laying 5.5 in this one. Jim Larinaga, we know what he can do as an underdog, so this could be an interesting pick for you guys, whether you take UConn outright but Miami to cover. Clay, to you, 8:49 tip-off on Saturday. What's the deal?
Okay, the -5.5 is what's getting me here. So
Okay.
I think B. Lang is going to go UConn, and that's what makes me want to go Miami here. I'm going to pick up some ground with this one. Here's the deal. UConn, they can play. They've won their tournament games by 24, 15, 23, and 28. These games aren't even close. They won their first 14 games by 13 by double digits, right? Okay, this team can play. Number one in KenPom, 3 in offensive efficiency, 3 in defensive efficiency. They're a great team. They have bench players, a full team. I mean, they're top 20. Every KenPom team that's won the national championship has been a top 20 defensive efficiency team. This team fits the mold. On the other hand, you got Miami, 29-7. All right, you had the Drake comeback, that's a little bit scary. And then they beat Indiana, but this team beat Houston and Texas. B. Lang was riding the Houston all the way to the bank over here. They beat Houston. Miami did. Okay, so I think they beat Houston. You can beat anybody. I don't care if it's UConn. They're top 5 in offense in KenPom. Their defense isn't great, but I'm going to take Miami because they have shown they can beat the best of the best. They beat Texas. They beat Houston. Okay, they can beat UConn too. Miami.
Brandon, that's a good resume. What's the deal?
Remember in Rocky 3 when Apollo Creed had to take Sylvester Stallone back, took him to L.A. in that dark all the brothers, and the song that they played was "Take You Back." Boom, 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 boom. Take you back. I'm going to take you back to Jim Larinaga and George Mason. And they were the darling of the NCAA tournament. The big win over UConn in overtime got to the Final Four. I had them in round 1. I had them in round 2. I had them in round 3. I had them in round 4. I was 4-0 against the spread, and they got to the Final Four, and I rode them again against Florida. I was like, come on, babe, I'm going to ride them again. I'm going to ride them again. They got blown out. And here we are. Jim Larinaga, they've covered 4 straight. They've won 4 straight. They're back in the Final Four, playing who I feel is going to be the champion. And everybody, it's a term in this business called late to the dance. You're just late to the dance. You should have got him in round 1. You should have got him in round 2. You should have got him in round 3. You should have got him against Texas in round 4. And now the whole world's going to jump on him in round 5. Take you back. Take you back. Listen, it's been a great story. But the problem with Miami in this game is that UConn has big men that you have to respect in the paint. Miami's got one big guy, played his butt off in the last game against Texas. But they're coming at him. And just like Drew Timme, who got in foul trouble and couldn't handle the 2 bigs of UConn, the same fate will befall Miami here. You lose with UConn before you try to win with Miami. If Miami plays the game of their life and beats UConn, so be it, tip your cap. But you don't go against this UConn team right now. It's going to be a tough 0-2 for Clay. I feel for him, but thank God he's got some retirement money, NFL pension. He's all good there. He's ripped, he's shredded. If worst case scenario, money gets tight, he can go always and meet some rich MILF that he can just sponge off of for the next 20 because he's got the ripped body and get whatever he wants. But
Joey Guns, baby.
My boy's going to go 0-2, and Joey Guns, I feel for you. But number love for you, baby. Number love for you.
5.5 points too. I'm still taking Miami. Like I said, nobody gave this team a shot to beat Texas or Houston. Nobody thought they could do it. I watched the guy go, this team can play. This team can shoot. All right. They don't have a bench. They're playing with the same 5 players.
Oh, you very wrong. You very wrong.
Isaiah Wong, let's go. So here's what we're doing here.
Wong.
Isaiah Wong.
You very wrong. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Defensive efficiency, Clay. That's the concern with me.
No defense. Yeah, you're right.
And so I think that bites them in the butt in this game. And to Brandon's credit here, I think the public is starting to really catch on to this whole Jim Larinaga thing too late. Like, regression to the mean is coming. I'm fading Clay. I'm riding Lang. We're going with UConn minus 5.5 in that one. By the way, the total 149.5. UConn has been friendly to the over. Miami more so to the under. Is there a play for you here, Brandon?
I think UConn blows them out and puts up 80.
Okay.
So but again, I'm not a totals guy. So again, I would rather root for the over than a low scoring game there.
Fair enough. Over for you,
I think it's over because, like I said, Miami's terrible. They don't have a great defense. They're going to have to outscore them. But I think they do with these shooters. They're going to outscore them. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Sorry, B. Lang. I'm coming back. I'm winning 2 games here, and that's just how it is.
We're having some fun. We're having some fun. Let's get to some props, guys, as we continue along here. Game to have the highest margin of victory. Right now, you're laying serious juice with the UConn-Miami game, minus 200. Brandon thinks it's 80 for UConn alone. San Diego State, FAU, plus 150. Which game will have the larger margin of victory here, Brandon?
San Diego State wins by double digits.
Plus 150. Okay.
Yep. FAU's not going to be able to score. If they struggle to score 50 in a win against North Texas, good luck against the San Diego State defense. Seriously.
Clay?
I'm gonna take FAU with the largest margin of victory over San Diego State.
Oh my goodness.
I got
you both would win that though.
He has to. If he's on both dogs, he has to take it. He's pinned himself in a corner.
Like I said, top 20 in the NCAA in 3-pointers. FAU can shoot. They're going to shoot. They're going to catch fire, and they're going to get San Diego State these Aztecs out of the gym.
Allow me to also say, these shooters are shooting in a dome. You're wrong about 3-pointers in the dome. It's a different backdrop. Be careful, my son. Be careful.
Depth perception. Yes, that matters as we change arenas here. Okay. I'm with you guys on that one. I like the plus money. Let's talk about most outstanding player. We have odds for that. The 2 favorites, Sanogo, Hawkins of UConn. You got Jordan Miller there, plus 750, and then some longer shots. Clay, is there a play for you on this one?
No, I like the plus 750 with Jordan Miller.
Okay.
I think that they, like I said, if they win this game, like I think they will, I think they can. I think that's huge, and I think it's going to be because of Jordan Miller. I think he's a guy that's got an all-around game. He can shoot. He can do it all. So I think once they beat UConn, they go and they beat FAU in the national championship, and like we've said, FAU's not the best at defense either. But I like Jordan Miller because Miami, when they pull this one out, he's going to be the best player on the team that wins.
B. Lang?
Oh, you go. He go. So no go. That is
I like it.
There's nobody left on that side of the bracket with San Diego State or Florida Atlantic that can cover this guy. He abused Drew Timme and anybody else Gonzaga threw at him, and he is going to abuse anyone else. He has been a force this entire tournament. It is his tournament. It has been his tournament, and he puts the final nail in the coffin. He is your MVP, and that's a mortal lock winner.
Parlay that.
Okay.
You might as well. Connecticut winning it all, Clay, and Sanogo. Why not?
Jordan Miller's a 41% three-point shooter. This guy's only
Here we
averaging
go
15
again.
a game, but he's going to catch fire. You know, he's 53% from the field, 41 from three-point line. Let's go, baby. Jordan Miller catching fire, beating UConn.
This is the all fade Clay show because I'm with Lang on this one. I mean, I love UConn. I've loved them since the beginning. I picked them to win this thing. Sorry, Clay. I love you. Let's get to the next one. The projected champion. Brandon, we know your answer. It's Connecticut minus 145, right?
Yep, I already have them. I also have them at 13-1 in the month of December. So I'm sitting pretty. I'm sitting real pretty. We're talking major strip bar porn money. Major money.
Clay, Miami plus 475. Is that where you're going?
Of course.
I'm going Miami. I think Miami wins this one. Plus 475. You get great stats. Obviously, you got Isaiah Wong. Like I said, he's a player. You got Jordan Miller. This guy can shoot. This guy's all over the place. 6'7". He's got some length. And then, you also got Nigel Pack. Okay, he's a 6-foot guard that can shoot too. He's shooting 40% from the 3-point line as well. These guys can just fill it up, man. You can't stop shooters like that. They're small, but they can shoot, baby. UConn ain't gonna know what hit them. They just see all these three-point shots just going everywhere, just going in, man. I can't wait to see Miami pull off this upset. Let's go, Miami, and you're getting these odds.
Tears of Cam and Brandon potentially here in the Final Four. We'll see what happens in the game. Quickly, guys, couple of minutes left. Let's talk about Augusta, the Masters, the biggest golf event of the entire season. And Brandon, we will go to you with your projected champion. Maybe a quick note on Tiger and what you think he's going to do.
Tiger will play well, but he won't win. The winner's Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth is going to be your winner. He's had like 3 or 4 top 10s. He's led 3 of these tournaments in the final round, all peaking for Augusta. Of course, he's comfortable with. He knows. He putts well. He plays well. I believe Jordan Spieth, is my pick and my winner. And my outside shot is the guy that just won the match play, Sam
Burns.
Yeah, Sammy Burns at 60-1. Keep an eye on Sammy Burns.
It's a nice number there. 18-1 for Jordan Spieth. Clay, your projected champion?
Rory McIlroy, right? So this guy, Rory McIlroy, he's got 23 wins, 4 majors, but he's never won the Masters. He wants this one bad. He needs to win the Masters. This is the one that's gotten away from him. It's like that girl Brandon talks about from back in his 20s. You know, he's looking back and looking back, he's like, man, I should have dated her. I just did. This is the one that got away for Rory McIlroy. He's not going to let her stay away. He's going to win it, and he's going to make it his own. Rory McIlroy is going to win this thing, and I think that, he runs away with it this time.
I'll tell you what. I like both of those players, but I'm going with Brandon on this one too. Jordan Spieth, 18-1, lock it in, and Brandon and I are going to win some money over the course of this week. You guys have been watching Believe Me right here on Stadium TV. For Brandon Lang of BrandonLang.com, Clay Harbor, legendary NFL tight end, I am Cam Rogers. We'll see you next week.